What's essential to you?
A wise uncle once said to me, don't be clever, be wise. And he was a businessman, and I took that to mean don't be greedy, don't be clever, be fair and treat people in the right way. And that's essential, that I and we as a business are treating people in the right way. And I think if you do that, it comes back to you. My name is Charlie Green. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of TOG, the office group.
And what makes you different to some of the other co-working spaces out there?
I think if you look around, we design every building individually. So we're thinking about a really authentic story and narrative for each building. We're looking at the architecture, we're looking at the local environment, who are the people who are going to use it. And I think with that level of consideration, that sets us apart from the competition.
What is the one thing you'd like to remove from your life but you can't seem to let go of?
Social media would be good to lose in my life.
So if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
I'd quite like to have been a writer. My sister is a writer, and so I think it's in the genes. But also I think I would have quite liked to have been a comedy writer. Not a stand-up comic. That's an entirely different thing, but a comedy writer would, I think, have been a lot of fun.
What work of art, and that can be literature, film, music, has had the biggest influence on you?
The Office TV show, right, as a work of art, and it's a work of art. The satire of that subject and how they were able to communicate that was, in a way, kind of inspirational, because it was hyperbole, right? It exaggerated office life, but yeah, there was something about that whole time and era that kind of pushed us to do what we did. So it definitely influenced us.
What's the one possession you'd save in a fire?
So I have a 1963 Submariner Rolex, which my dad gave me, which he always said, I'm going to give you this when I die. And actually 20 years ago I was really unwell, and I think he thought I was going to die before him, so he came to the hospital and he said, I want you to have this. I'm like, Dad, I'm not going to die, it's fine. But I took it anyway, and yeah, it's a special piece.
What's something you're grateful for?
Actually, when I was in the hospital that time, when I was unwell, it was pretty life-threatening and very scary, and took me a long time to recover from it. But what I came away with was a realization that you have one life, and I think the ability to recall that often is important. So it's a realization that it drives you to make sure you make the most of it.
What's your number one marker of a good friendship?
Compassionate honesty. So somebody who can tell you what you need to hear, but do it in the right way.
What's something you wish you'd started earlier, or what's the one thing you wish you'd started earlier?
I think the need to be present, right, and the need to be mindful, and the appreciation of something that's a little deeper than sort of surface satisfaction. That kind of came to me quite late.